All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of motor vehicle parts advisors.
Yeah, we're going to dig into what it takes to ace those interviews and land your dream job.
We've got RoleCatcher's awesome career guides riding shotgun with us today, so you know we're packing some serious knowledge.
These guides are jam-packed with insights, and they've even got the inside scoop on those tricky interview questions.
Exactly. Speaking of interview questions, one that always seems to pop up is, what experience do you have in the automotive industry?
Right. That's one that can really make or break an interview, especially if you're just starting out.
Totally. It can feel intimidating for sure. Like, how do you even begin to answer that if you haven't actually worked in an auto parts store before?
Well, the good news is you don't necessarily need direct experience to impress. It's all about connecting the dots. Think about any customer service roles you've had, retail, food service, anything where you were dealing with people, handling transactions, resolving issues.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Those are all transferable skills.
Exactly. And don't forget about any personal interests or hobbies related to cars.
You mean like if someone's a bit of a gearhead in their free time?
Precisely. If you've ever changed your own oil, tinkered with your car, or even spent hours researching parts online, that shows passion and a willingness to learn.
So it's all about showcasing your enthusiasm, even if you don't have years of experience under your belt. Now, let's talk about staying up to date with this ever-changing field. I mean, automotive technology is moving faster than a sports car on the Autobahn. RoleCatcher highlights a super relevant question. How do you stay up to date on new automotive technologies and parts?
Yeah, that's a big one. Because the automotive landscape is constantly shifting, you've got to show those hiring managers that you're committed to staying ahead of the curve.
So how can someone demonstrate that they're not just keeping up, but actually ahead of the game?
One way is to showcase a proactive approach to learning. Do you subscribe to car magazines, follow automotive blogs, or listen to, say, podcasts like this one?
Oh, I like where you're going with this. It's about demonstrating that hunger for knowledge.
Exactly. You can also mention any online courses or workshops you've taken, even if they weren't specifically automotive related, as long as they involve technology or technical skills.
Right, because that shows adaptability, a willingness to learn new things. Okay, we've talked about general experience and staying current, but what about those curveball questions? The ones that really test your people skills?
Oh, you mean those real-world scenarios that you can't always prepare for? Like dealing with a difficult customer.
Exactly, and RoleCatcher has a great example. How do you handle a difficult customer? Which, let's face it, is something every parts advisor is going to encounter at some point.
It's bound to happen. But it's also a golden opportunity to showcase those interpersonal skills, that ability to stay cool under pressure.
So what's the key to crafting an answer that screams, I can handle anything,
Yeah.
while still showing empathy?
It's all about striking that balance, acknowledging the customer's frustration while offering solutions. You want to start by demonstrating that you genuinely understand their perspective, even if you don't necessarily agree with their complaint.
So active listening is super important here, really putting yourself in their shoes.
Exactly. Once you've established that you hear them, then you outline the steps you would take to resolve the situation, whether it's investigating the issue, checking for parts, exploring alternatives, or escalating to a manager.
It's that proactive, solution-oriented mindset that really makes a difference. And you know what else makes a difference? Specific examples.
Yes. Nothing beats a good story to bring your answer to life.
Totally. Like, share a time when you successfully navigated a tricky customer interaction. It shows you can walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
Now, ready to switch gears a bit? Let's talk about something a little more technical.
Let's do it. I know RoleCatcher's guide dives into the nitty-gritty of inventory management, which is a huge part of the job.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a question here that's music to my organized ears. How do you ensure that orders are filled accurately and on time?
Because accuracy is everything in this role.
Yeah,
I mean, one wrong part can throw a wrench in the whole operation, right?
you got it. So when you're answering this question, you want to emphasize your organizational skills and that laser-like attention to detail. Think about any experience you have with inventory management software.
Even if it wasn't in the automotive industry, right?
Yeah.
Like, the key here is demonstrating that you're comfortable with technology.
Exactly. Talk about how you've used software to track orders, manage deadlines, ensure everything's running smoothly.
It's about those transferable skills again.
And don't forget those essential soft skills, clear communication, double-checking details, that unwavering commitment to getting things right.
Because that dedication to accuracy can really set a candidate apart. And speaking of setting yourself apart, This feels like the perfect time to introduce RoleCatcher's secret weapon, their AI-powered tools.
You read my mind. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about how RoleCatcher uses AI to help someone prepare for a motor vehicle parts advisor interview.
So picture this. You've done your homework, brushed up on the role, you're ready to craft some killer answers. Well, RoleCatcher takes it to the next level. They've got this amazing feature where you actually input the job description, the one you'd usually just skim through.
Right.
Their AI really digs deep, analyzes the language, and figures out exactly what the employer is looking for.
Wow.
And then, get this, it helps you tailor your answers to be a perfect match.
So it's not just general advice, it's like having a personalized playbook.
It's like having a secret weapon. Let's say you're stuck on that question about staying current with industry trends. RoleCatcher's AI might suggest you mention advancements in electric vehicle components if the job description emphasizes EVs. Or if the role requires a specific inventory management system, their AI might nudge you to highlight your experience with similar platforms.
Okay, that's impressive. It's like having a career coach whispering insider tips in your ear.
Exactly. And the best part, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. RoleCatcher even offers AI-powered feedback on your interview responses. You can practice, record yourself, and get insights on your pacing, your clarity, even your body language.
Hold on, AI can analyze your body language from a video.
You bet it can. It's all about helping you present your best, most confident self. Now, getting back to those interview questions, RoleCatcher brings up a scenario that really tests a vital skill for a parts advisor. Prioritization. Imagine this busy Saturday morning, phones are ringing off the hook, mechanics are breathing down your neck for parts, you've got a line of customers at the counter. How do you handle the pressure?
Oh man, that sounds intense.
Right. And that's exactly what the interviewer wants to know with this question. How do you prioritize competing demands for your time and attention?
It's like being the ringmaster of a three-ring circus.
That's a great way to put it. This question is all about assessing your organizational skills, your ability to stay calm under pressure, and how you make decisions when everything feels urgent.
So what's the secret to acing this question?
Structure and real-world examples. Think about a time when you juggled multiple projects successfully. Did you use a specific method? Like the Eisenhower matrix. Share that with the interviewer.
I love the Eisenhower matrix.
Yeah.
It's amazing how such a simple tool can make such a difference.
Right. And by weaving in those concrete examples like, say, handling a rush order while assisting customers and managing inventory, you're showing the interviewer you can walk the walk.
You're not just talking the talk, you're proving you can handle the heat. And speaking of juggling different elements, let's talk about supplier relationships. Because RoleCatcher asks, how do you manage relationships with suppliers to ensure that we receive competitive pricing and quality parts? Which is a big one.
It is. This one's all about your negotiation skills, your ability to build rapport, and your dedication to getting the best value. A successful parts advisor is a bit of a deal maker, you know?
It's about finding that sweet spot: cost, quality, reliability. You don't want to be stuck with a cheap part that falls apart after a week.
Exactly. You want to emphasize that you understand the bigger picture. Talk about how you'd research suppliers, evaluate their reputation, build those mutually beneficial relationships.
It's like being a matchmaker, finding the perfect parts supplier for every situation.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to share a specific example of a time you negotiated a great deal or maybe resolved a supplier issue smoothly. It really adds weight to your words.
Show, don't tell, right? And while we're on the topic of parts, let's talk inventory management. RoleCatcher has this question that's music to any organized person's ears. It's, how do you ensure that our parts inventory remains organized and easy to navigate?
Ah, a question after my own heart. This one's about so much more than just keeping things tidy. It's about maximizing efficiency, minimizing errors, and ultimately keeping those mechanics happy.
A well-organized inventory is like a well-oiled machine. It keeps everything running smoothly.
Exactly. And it shows the interviewer that you understand the importance of order in what can often feel like a very chaotic environment.
So what are some key things someone should focus on when answering this question?
Well, for starters, any experience with inventory management software is a great thing to mention. It shows you're tech savvy and understand how technology can streamline those processes. But don't just stop there. Talk about your approach to organization in general. Do you believe in color coding? Are you a fan of labeling systems?
Some people swear by alphabetical order.
Right. Whatever your method, share it. Demonstrate that you're a champion of organization, that you'll bring that same meticulous approach to managing their inventory.
Showcase those organizational superpowers.
Exactly. And speaking of superpowers, RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer here too. By analyzing that job description, it might pick up on keywords like efficiency, accuracy, or process improvement.
Oh, I see.
And this helps you tailor your answer to directly address those specific needs.
It's like having a personalized cheat sheet for the interview.
Precisely. Now let's move on to a question that's close to every car owner's heart. Quality control. RoleCatcher asks, how do you ensure that our parts are of the highest quality and meet or exceed industry standards?
This one's all about attention to detail, right? Being that final line of defense to ensure that only the best parts make it into the hands of the mechanics.
You got it. You're safeguarding the reputation of the business and, even more importantly, the safety of the drivers on the road. A strong answer here shows that you don't take this responsibility lightly.
It's like being a quality control inspector, but instead of widgets, it's the parts that keep those cars running smoothly and safely.
Exactly. So when you answer this question, think about any experience you have with quality control procedures, even if it wasn't specifically in the automotive world.
Right, because the principles are often the same.
Exactly. Maybe you've worked in manufacturing, warehousing, or even a role where you had to double-check orders for accuracy. It all counts.
It's about showcasing that meticulous eye for detail, that commitment to getting things right. So what are some things someone could mention to really wow the interviewer?
Well, you could talk about how you'd inspect shipments for any signs of damage, verify part numbers against order forms, make sure you're up to date on manufacturer recalls or safety notices. Those are all good ones.
It's about being proactive, staying ahead of any potential issues.
Exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI tools can really come in handy. By analyzing that job description, it can identify keywords, things like safety, compliance, or industry standards that might not be immediately obvious.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. It helps you tailor your answer to really hit those key points.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for the job description.
I like that. But at the end of the day, it's your passion and dedication that will really shine through.
Absolutely. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. From understanding the ins and outs of being a motor vehicle parts advisor to tackling those tough interview questions and even harnessing the power of AI with RoleCatcher.
And don't forget, the automotive industry is constantly changing, so never stop learning. But with the right preparation and a genuine passion for this field, you'll be well on your way to a successful career as a motor vehicle parts advisor.
This deep dive has given you the roadmap, but the journey is yours to take. Head over to RoleCatcher, explore their fantastic resources. They've got tons of free stuff, and start practicing those interview skills.
Because even the most experienced pros were once starting out just like you.
Confidence comes from preparation, and with RoleCatcher in your corner, you've got this.